Hi everyone, it's me, Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today is Lampworking Day. Now that's not the only thing that happens here on this channel. If me melting glass rods into glass beads or, something off mandrels such as this little angel here. And this little vessel here is actually blown glass. And yeah, these are not blown. This is just a glass bead. This is just a glass statue. But this was a blown glass vessel that I used a blowpipe for. So this here. And the rest are made on the mandrel made beads. So I'm going to be recreating one that I've already done. And if this glass work is not what you're into, that's perfectly okay. I have lots of fiber arts to check out on my channel. This glass work is just my journey anyway, and I kind of just make stuff, and if you want to watch it, you can watch it. If not, it's my diary of things that I'm doing and how I'm learning along the way. There are many tutorials on knitting, needle tatting, crochet, Tunisian crochet, weaving, spinning. There's my own patterns, stitch tutorials, what is it and how does it work, all in different playlists on the channel. There's also my Ravelry down below, and my email, Facebook group, and Instagram handle. And you can contact me if you have any questions by any of those down below. Now let's go ahead and get started. To start with, I need to pull some stringers off of this black because I just have a few here, and I'm definitely going to be needing some more. So let's go ahead and start with that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to heat up some black glass, just creating this wad of hot glass at the end. Then I'm going to take my forceps and pull out a thin string of that glass, which is called a stringer. That's used for smaller detail work, which you will see when we get started working on that bead. So now instead of a big thick piece of rod glass, I now have something thinner that I can do drawings with. Now I'm just heating up two small pieces I have and sticking them together, and then I'll stick another one on it. And what that'll do is just basically add as an extension, and I can continue to pull stringers off of it and not lose any glass. So now I'll just heat up the next two ends and stick them together, and then I'll start melting the final end once again in order to create more stringers. There it goes. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do this same process until I have what I feel is enough for what I may need for the bead. The bead that I'm going to be recreating has an argyle look to it, and I will be doing it in the translucent blue over there on the right hand side of my table, over the top of a white bead. So that'll be pretty cool to have all those different color blues. All right, I got enough stringers. Let's move on to the footprint of our main bead here. We're gonna heat up some white and create that what I mean by that is right now that glass is sitting on, the black glass is sitting on top of the white, because the white was cooler than the stringer was when I was melting it on. So you melt it in so it becomes part of the bead. And now I'm going to heat up my first color, and this will go on each end of this bead, in all of the little white triangles around the top and the bottom. Just placing a dot of hot glass on top of the little white triangles. Okay, that's the first color. Now I'm going to melt those down and grab my next color blue. Now this one's going to go in the next set of triangles up from those previous beads. And now another color. This color is really neat because it's almost teal. It has more green in it. But nevertheless, it is still in the blue family. Just adds a little bit of a extra pop of color around the equator. And it's just little tidbits of hot glass creating these dots. Now I want to melt those in. And once I get them melted in, I'm going to add a white dot on top of every single one of those that I just made. So we're layering. White bead, translucent color, now a white dot on top of that translucent. And we'll melt that down in. Sure I've got each one. All right, let's melt all of those white dots down into that bead. And then we'll start all over again with the color scheme that we already have done once. This time it'll be a much smaller dot on top of the white dot. Just pressing some of them down on that marker, just trying to smush them out to fill that area. Roll it out a little bit, get back into shape after pressing those others. All right, let's begin adding the next dots, which is the same colors as I said, over the top of those white dots. It's called Psych. It's a double helix, and this is such a cool color because you can see it looks black. Well, I'm placing these dots in on the points of those triangles, so not over the top of those dots that we already did. This is actually at the points of those diamonds, triangles, whatever. So anyway, once I get them all on, I'm going to melt them down just a little bit, give them a shape, and then I'm going to do this striking, which is really cool. It's a striking and reduction that will change the color depending on whether you strike it or you do a reduction. Is going to depend on what you get in the long run. So I'm going to get real close to that really hot pinpoint of a flame, and I'm going to start working on these dots individually. Heat them up, let them cool off. Heat them up, let them cool off. And what that does is it gives it this really cool, just like silvery blue color. Oh, it's beautiful. You'll see at the end. So I go through and I check all of the dots to make sure each individual one has that blue sheen